G'day and welcome. So just in this video, we're going to have a look at the GBU-12 and the Pave spike targeting pod. So we're going to try and use that in this video. Just one thing, if you do not do an alignment, the Pave spike will not target the ground, like it won't hold. So if you're wondering what on earth is going on when you're doing half action and full action, that's the problem. You absolutely have to do an alignment with this setup. Do an alignment. If you've got the alignment done, then now everything will work. So do wait for the alignment to complete. This is not something you can take off and do without it. Let's go jump in the cockpit and we'll try and get the cold and dark start happening. I'm just going to whack these three. I'm going to turn on my two engine masters. We're going to go up to here for the oxygen. Anti-skid, external lights. These two. I'll go at the back just to put some lighting on.
What alignment do you want?
And what I'm going to choose is just number 3. So left control and 3, HDG, memory alignment.
Alright, stored heading it is.
I'll bring my helmet up. I'm going to turn these two up. And that will do for the moment. So we're basically set up, but now I need to get rid of my chocks. So just go to the ground, wheel chocks, remove.
Roger.
And you can't start the next process until the wheel chocks are gone. I've tried, it just won't do it. So you got to wait.
Yes, sir. Chalk's out.
Now we can do
Go
it.
get him, sir. Pew, 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 pew. Disconnecting.
As soon as he finishes talking, load start cartridge. Roger. And then he says Roger. He won't say Roger otherwise. So yeah, that's what I was finding. But we can release our two idle detents. Now I just want to go through quickly what controls are sort of extra that you might need. I know some people mentioned this button, the Jester Context Action button. So if you go and point the bore sight down to the ground, hit that, it will then hold that general area. But this is not essential. You can do that if you want, the Jester Context Action, but this is not essential for this. What you do need to have is this, the Control Challenge button. That's going to give you zoom in and out. And you're also going to want to have the antenna hand control trigger. Now all of this is found under the word temporary. So if you go and just look under this, type in the word temporary, you'll get all of these controls coming up. Okay, so you just get temporary and then you'll get all these controls coming up. But what we do absolutely need is the antenna hand control trigger. Now I've got it set to everything. I've got using all of them. So full action 2-stage trigger, the full action trigger, the 2-stage trigger, and also the half action button. So those ones are what you're wanting, but you just need a full action trigger button and a half action button. That's what's critical. Make sure you know what you've got set to full action button, half action button, WSO antenna hand control trigger, full action button, half action button. They're the critical buttons to have. Then the other things you're going to want is just slew around. Now I noticed the other slew stuff that I had doesn't work for this. Like it just literally does not work. So there's no choice. So if you have the weapon slew forward hand control set up, it won't work for this. It needs to be this from the temporary. So the antenna hand control slews, but it must be WSO. So WSO antenna hand control slew down, up, left, and right. So they're the ones you're going to need. And have a look in the description of the video because I've got it written in there, which makes it a lot easier. The only extra little thing which I didn't show them, but I do have set up, is I've got this set up, insert target button, WSO insert target button. I do have set that as an option for me. So that's not critical though to just get this process done. So we're just going to go over to here. I'm going to hit my air to ground. Setting this up is basically just doing your pylons. You're setting it to bombs and you're just putting it on target find. And then that's basically it. If you want to do 2 at once, you can. I've got 2 on board, so I did 2. And just down here, you need to put this to TV or left mouse button. So left mouse button on the TV. Bombs, target find is critical, and then put how many you want to drop, 1 or 2. I'm just doing 2, and which pylons. Outside of that, we're just setting our master arm, and you can do nose tail, whatever. I'm just doing nose and tail, and set this to air to ground. Now you'll notice this screen won't come on until you're up into the sky. So If the screen's not coming on, or it takes a little while anyway, but you'll find you're generally in the sky before that becomes an issue. Okay, so we're just going to start this plane quickly, just the right and the left. I'm using the cartridges, just pushing it forward and then holding down the right trigger, 1, 2, 3, and then holding down the left trigger, 1, 2, 3, and then pulling it back, and we're done, engine started. So that's all we need to do with the cold and dark start, and our plane will start up by itself. You can see the engine's going away there. So we've done everything we need to set this up so that we can drop our bombs as well. The alignment is complete. You can have a look at the alignment if you go back here and just see what's going on. But I'm a bit confused because it says it's off at the moment.
If you cycle Gen 2, I can start the alignment.
We need to do the alignment. So we're going to do left control and yep.
Roger.
He's now going to start the alignment, so we'll let him do that. But we'll do the full video of the whole mission because that's how you play the game. There's plenty of short cut up videos. I will do some short cut up videos, but that's not this video. We're trying to show my gameplay, and this video isn't really a tutorial. I'm just explaining what I'm doing. It's really useful to myself when I have to look at my own video back and I go, okay, what did I do there? So if you find it useful, that's good. And if you don't, there's heaps of other videos out there. But we are just sharing my gameplay. So anyway, I've tried to explain everything, but yes, you need to do this alignment, otherwise it's impossible. This little static correction, we're just going over to here, holding down the right mouse button, that's gone. And we'll get our canopy closed, left control and C. As for the alignment times, I believe the full alignment's about 8 minutes, and then the others can be 4 minutes to 2 minutes, depending on the temperature and on your location and whether you moved. You can reset it if you ever do move.
Canopy
That's not a
down
problem.
and locked, lights out, and stripes aligned.
Cool. So the canopy's done. I'm just waiting on the alignment. Then we can put ourselves up into the sky. My impressions of this module are really good. There's some other things I can do. Transmit, receive, and just throw that on normal. There's probably a few more things you could do, but the main thing is that I'm seeing in the missions is just got to know you can change channels here. And the only one you really need is this one, so you just change into whatever channel they tell you. Right click and left click. That's the main thing for the preset radios. And you need to obviously have this on transmit receive. So just changing UHF to transmit receive, and then you're good. But that's what I'm noticing. Down here is a flight director. I don't really have much set, but I can use it. There's 2 waypoints. And then we can follow this arrow. We're just putting that arrow at the top. And we're heading towards our location. It will also give you some guidance with this line. You want to center that in the middle. But we can also hold down the cage button or something on this. Release the cage. Cool. So we're just waiting on that alignment. So you can see RO and LO. If we go have a look, you can see they're on that end.
You can go primary sync now. Alignment's done. We're ready to taxi.
Just before he finishes the alignment, you hear a little click. And then you know it's about to come up, his voice message saying it's all done. So that's pretty cool. So we're turning right, and then we're up in the sky. The only other thing I need to do is just push this up a little bit. And we're just going to bring our flaps down. So we're getting our flaps down. I don't know if we're going to achieve that at the moment. How about now? Yep, all good.
Flaps
Cool.
out.
So let's give this a little bit of
Flaps
power.
down.
And we'll see if I can get ourselves up into the sky.
Here we go. I'm feeling good about this one.
I noticed that there wasn't very many people covering this on YouTube. And certainly none of them mentioned you needed to do the full alignment. Absolutely none that I saw. And so I was testing all the weapons, especially the Mavericks and some of the others you don't need to do alignments for. So
Roger.
But this is not one of them. It becomes so much easier now. Okay, so we're lined up on the runway. And we're going to put ourselves up into the sky, so we'll just give it full power.
Engine's good. Airspeed's coming alive. 80 knots. 100 knots.
Okay, we're off the ground.
Gears moving.
And then we can just trim if we need. Don't need to trim. It's perfect.
Gear up.
Cool. And we've got our flaps up and slats up. That's all good. I can bring that power back a little bit. I'll go try and gain some altitude. Just running the Syria map, I am using an SSD now. I moved the whole game over to an SSD, although I'm not finding it's great at the moment. Even with the SSD, but so then if we can get ourselves happening with some altitude, that would be good right now. Don't want to go too high because I do want to stay below the clouds. Okay, so now we're going to talk about the actual Pave bike. So this gets set up for you automatically, and essentially all of the commands and the controls that you need to set up in the back here, which is behind this, that's all done by Jester. So laser ready, power on and 1. If you've got that, you're pretty much good. So this will come on for you once you've got all this set up, as we did on the ground. So there's no extra like super work there, just target find, bombs. I've got quantity on 2. I've set the channels that you've got the bombs on, and then master arm. And then just at the top, we've got it on air to ground. So that's the basics. If we can, we're going to try to use our autopilot. So you just flick that switch, and then it will hold steady for you. But I just want to have a little look if we can line ourselves up a little bit better with the runway over there, because that's where our targets are. Okay, cool. And we're still climbing 4,000. And so forth. If we can climb just a little bit quicker. That will do. So we'll go over to here and hit those 2 switches. That'll keep me steady enough. So over to here. So now all I'm going to do is we're going to use the half trigger. So I basically push 3 buttons. I push this button, WSO antenna hand control trigger, half action button. Then I go and push this button, the WSO antenna hand control challenge button. And then so that lets you zoom in. This one first lets you get control of it, the half action. Then that lets you zoom in. If you need to move it around, you can use up, down, left and right. So the main thing you're going to do is go half action, and then you're going to use down to move the thing down. You can go and use your bore sight and whack Jester Context Action to lock that area of the ground, but I'm not doing that. It's not essential. So yeah, just half action. It'll give you control. Use your W up, down, left and right to move it around. And then once you move it around, you're going to want to zoom in. So to zoom in, WSO antenna hand control challenge button. And then once you've done that, you then tap in this, the WSO antenna hand control trigger, and that will lock that location on the ground. Now we've got the location locked on the ground, we're just waiting to drop our bomb. So we hold down our bomb release button, and we're just holding that down. Once the bombs are off the plane, then we can go back to just using the WSO antenna hand control slew buttons up, down, left and right, and we're just keeping it on our target that we want in that area. It's already keeping the general area because we did the alignment, so it's not too hard. We just need to worry about getting it really accurate now because the bombs are going to hit that target. It'll look quite far behind the aircraft, so don't worry if you overfly it. Alright, so we've got this. So I'm going to do the half action. I'm going to look down towards where the runway is. And then I'm going to zoom in, because I need to zoom in at the moment. And we can see here. And so now, what I'm going to do is we've moved the up, down, left and right in the general location that we want. And then we're going to use the full action. So I'm using the full action button. And now that's going to hold that area on the ground. So now all we need to do is drop the bombs, basically. And obviously I'm doing this single player, so I'm just flying as well. But we've got the autopilot help me just lightly. So I can drop the bombs now.
Speed 460.
And the bombs won't release until this gets down to here. So I'm just holding the bomb release button though. We're in the general area that we can hit a target, so that's all we need. I'm just holding it down. Can you see it's now coming down? And when it hits that mark, you can let go of the bomb button because it's released. We should drop two. Okay, they're off. So now you need to use those slew buttons and put it on exactly where you want the bomb to go.
Okay, turn point is updated.
Just keep it on the target now. And there we go, we got the target destroyed. So a lot of fun, a lot more fun than perhaps just jumping in an F-16 and dropping it, because you're actually getting to be a little bit more hands-on. So yeah, once this works, this is really, really fun. Very good, and you feel very involved with the actual bombing process. That's what I think is great about this. So anyway, I'm going to go over to here. I'm going to turn off these two, and we're going to try and demonstrate the landing. How about that? So apparently I know how to land now. We'll give it a go. We're not landing at that one because that's full of targets, but we'll try and head towards the other one. Just want to get rid of that warning. And then we'll get our speed down. Now the main thing I'm doing is I'm just going to change my view. So I'm going to change my seat view just to help me. I'm going to put this with it on cage mode, just to the top of the glass. So I'm just going to here, and I'm just going to move it up to the top, and that'll give me a better view to work with to do the landing. That's about perfect. So now we just need to set ourselves up. I can turn the master arm off. Main thing is that we can get onto speed. And we'll try and get as close to that as we can. We're sort of lined up, so hopefully we can see it as we get over this little... There we go, we can see it in the distance there. And I'm just watching this and trying to put this white line in between there when we're getting on speed. But now it's not the time for that. We're a little bit far out. Let's see if we can do better. I'm not sure I want a different view than that. That's probably about right.
Damn it, we're hit!
Hopefully we don't get hit too much more. So we're at about 3,000 at 20k out, basically. Just using a speed brake to slow it down. We've started the gear down. And we've got our first marker, which is a good sign. So we're starting to slow. And then I'm just watching this down here.
Alright, gear, flaps, pressure, warning lights.
We're still a little bit far out, so I don't quite want to get on speed too much at the moment. That's about 1,000.
500. 300.
We can let it get back onto on speed if we can. Yep. We just want to hold that now as we come in. It's a lot better than what I was doing in my previous videos.
You got that love and feeling? Because I think I just lost mine forever.
Okay. And we're down on the ground. Is there nowhere we can, yeah, we can taxi off. Very good. Nice and slow now. And we'll just taxi it off and then we'll shut it down. Yeah, really fun weapon. Probably the most fun version of the GBU-12 I have seen in game. Just because you're being more interactive with the drop. Yeah, really, really cool. Very good implementation by Heatblur. Super impressed. I'm just going to change my view back into the center. Yeah, we're in the center. And of course we can get rid of that now. The parachute. Because we're off the runway. You can apparently push it off to the side, but I'm not going to try that. So yeah, I'm just curious, at what point does it actually drop? So you click that, it disappears already. Yeah, that's all. So whether you click this or not, it doesn't matter, it's already gone. Alright, cool. So we'll just hit our brakes, because I don't want to taxi all the way up to the end. That will do. And then right shift, then well, we can put the idle detents back. We can open the canopy. And then we can jump out of the plane pretty much. But we'll turn off these two powers. And yeah, that's a very, very quick shutdown. Awesome. So we've got that on target with 2 GBU-12s. Thank you for watching. Very, very cool module, this one. Looking forward to trying the other weapons now. Have a great day.